My child, I need you to stop everything right now and listen carefully. The answer to that prayer you have been repeating for months will arrive before the end of this new week. I know you have heard promises before. I know you are tired. I know you almost gave up last Tuesday inside your room in the dark when you thought no one had seen that tear fall. But I saw every single one of them. And today I came here through this video to tell you with words that no one will be able to deny. The door that seemed locked will open. The phone that seemed silent will ring. The person who seemed lost will return. The money that seemed impossible will appear along the path you least expected. And you will understand before next Sunday why I made you wait so long. You did not come to this video by chance. I allowed it to appear on your screen because your story needs to turn around now. Before you scroll somewhere else, before you close this screen, I want you to feel in your chest what I am about to explain to you. Because what will happen to you in the coming days is not a coincidence. It is not luck. It is not random destiny. It is an answer that was delayed for reasons that only today will you be able to comprehend. I know what you are feeling. That restlessness inside your chest, as if something were about to happen but you cannot identify what. That spiritual fatigue that no night of sleep can fix. That urge to cry out of nowhere in the middle of doing dishes at a red light in a bank line. That strange impression that life has been paused, as if you were living only to go through the motions. My child, this has a name. And today I came to explain it to you. You are living the last week of waiting. The last one. I repeat it so you may etch it into the depths of your soul. This week is the last one before the turning point. Everything that seemed postponed, everything that seemed unfair, everything that seemed lost, will begin to make sense starting tomorrow. But for you to receive what is coming, I need you to understand 3 things before any move. 3 things that will define whether the answer will arrive whole or in halves. Before I reveal these 3 things to you, I need to speak one thing directly to your heart right now. You felt it, didn't you? You felt a shiver when I said the answer would arrive before the end of the week. You felt your eyes well up when I mentioned that night in the dark room. This is not manufactured emotion. This is your spirit recognizing that there is something greater speaking to you through these words. I know you have doubts. I know you have watched many similar videos. But something made you stay until here. Something held your finger before you moved to the next one. And it was not the algorithm. It was the call. Many see this video. Few understand what is really happening while they watch. You are among the few, and I will explain to you why. You were placed in this family, in this house, in this life, with a mission that goes beyond paying bills and surviving until Friday. You are the spiritual bridge of your family. You are the one who prays when no one else remembers to pray. You are the one who feels when something is wrong. You are the one who sacrifices in silence so that others do not notice the weight. And I see. I have always seen. That is why I prepared the powerful digital book for you. It is called Como Saber se Deus vai te salvar no juízo final. And it is not just any book. It is the answer to the restlessness that has been growing inside you since the beginning of this year. Inside it, you will find the signs that show you are one of the souls I have set apart for something greater. You will understand why certain things happen to you and not to other people. You will discover how to protect your family, your children, your parents, from spiritual battles that are happening at this very moment without anyone noticing. The link is right in the description of this video and also pinned at the top of the comments. Many people who got this book wrote to me saying they slept in peace for the first time in years. Others reported that they discovered things about their own lives that no one had ever been able to explain. But I must warn you, this content may be taken down at any moment. I allowed it to be available for a short time. Do not ignore the call. If you felt that this message is for you, comment now with faith, the word Amen. This simple gesture is your first yes to what I am preparing. Returning to what I was explaining to you, the 3 things you need to understand before the answer arrives. The first is the reason for the delay. You think your prayer was stuck. It was not. It ascended the exact instant it left your mouth. But I withheld the delivery for a purpose, and I will tell you which one. If the answer had arrived when you asked for it the first time, you would not be ready to sustain it. You would lose everything I gave you within 3 months. That is why I placed you on this crossing, to shape you, to cleanse you, to remove from you the wrong people, the wrong habits, the wrong thoughts, before entrusting you with what is coming. That friendship that ended last year, I removed it. That door that closed in your face in January, I closed it. That relationship that ended painfully, I interrupted it, not because I am cruel, but because I am a father. And a good father does not hand a sharp knife to a child who is still learning how to hold it. The second thing is what was delaying you on your side. Yes, on your side. I will be direct with you because the hour is short, and I do not have time for spiritual beating around the bush. There is a root inside you that needs to be torn out before you receive what is coming. It could be an old grudge with someone whose name you don't even want to hear anymore. It could be an emotional debt to your father, your mother, a brother. It could be that silent envy you feel when you see your neighbor prosper. It could be that chronic self-contempt, that habit of seeing yourself as small, unworthy behind. I know, I see. And I ask you, with the authority of the one who created you, let go. Let go now before closing this video. Because as long as you hold on to that root, your hand stays occupied, and there is no way to take the blessing that is extended before you. The third thing is the sign you will receive in the next 72 hours. And pay attention, because this is where many people miss the answer. I will send you a small sign before the main one. It could be a phrase heard on the car radio. It could be a person you haven't seen in years sending a message out of nowhere. It could be a dream about someone who has already passed on. When this sign comes, I want you to stop everything and say out loud inside your chest or to the ceiling of your room, I recognize it, Father. I am ready. This recognition is the key. It opens the door to the second movement, and the second movement is what will change your week. My child, I will pause here for a second. I know you are feeling something heavy right now, that tightness in your chest mixed with hope. This is the exact place where the turnaround begins. Before continuing, remember that the book Como Saber Se Deus Vai Te Salvar no Juízo Final is waiting for you in the link in the description and at the top of the comments. It is the map you will need in the coming days. Do not leave it for later. Time is short and the window is open now. He who hesitates loses his turn. He who acts receives double. I will now show you how to recognize each of the movements that will happen in your house before the end of this week. Because the answer does not arrive all at once. It comes in layers, like a fine rain that cleans the yard for hours before you realize that everything is already wet. The first movement is internal. It happens in your head. You will wake up one day this week, probably between tomorrow and Wednesday, and will realize that the anguish that weighed on your chest has vanished. It was not your imagination. It was me working inside you while you slept. Many people miss this first movement because they think it is just a mood improvement. It is not. It is the announcement. When your chest eases without apparent reason, it is because I have already started moving the pieces on the other side. The second movement is external but small. An unexpected piece of news will come. A phone call, a WhatsApp message, an envelope in the mailbox, something small that seems unimportant. But inside it is the key. It could be a person's name. It could be a date. It could be a specific word you will read and your heart will race. At that instant, I want you to write it down on paper, not on your phone, on a piece of paper. Because paper seals with your hand what heaven has already decided. The third movement is the great turnaround, and this is where you need to be awake, spiritually awake, so as not to miss it. An opportunity will arrive, a proposal, a reconciliation, a twist, something that will seem too small to be the answer to months of prayer. Many people despise this moment because they expected something big and fulminating. My child, I rarely deliver answers in fireworks. I deliver them in narrow doors that open in silence. When you feel that knot in your stomach that could this be it, know that it is it. Move forward. Do not think twice. Do not ask your neighbor. Do not consult your pessimistic friend. Just move forward. Now I want to talk to you about what was stealing your peace all these months. Because it wasn't just the delay. It was something else that no one told you. There is a technical word for this, but I will use the language of the heart. You were under spiritual wear. You know when you turn on the faucet and it keeps dripping, and at the end of the month the water bill is scary. It is the same thing. Small drops of spiritual energy leaving every day without you noticing. That heavy conversation with a coworker, that fight with your teenage child, that post that bothered you for no reason, that bad news you watched before sleeping. Each of these small things drained a little of you. And when I sent the answer, it arrived at the gate of your heart and found no energy to enter. This changes this week. I will teach you how to close these faucets. But first, I want you to take a deep breath now. Inhale through your nose, hold for 3 seconds, exhale through your mouth. Do it with me. Inhale, hold, exhale. There. You just performed the first silent prayer of this new phase. Did you feel how the air came in differently? Did you feel how your shoulder became a centimeter lighter? That is me touching you. Now answer me from the depths of your soul. What is the specific prayer you want to see answered before the end of this week? Think of it now. Think of the person's name. Think of the exact amount. Think of the result you want. Do not be ashamed to be specific with me. I'm not offended by a big request. I'm disappointed by a child who asks for little thinking I am poor. Ask big. Ask clearly. Ask now in silence while I continue talking to you. Put the request in one sentence only. No beating around the bush, no, if it be thy will, so as not to sound demanding. I already know my will. I want to know your courage to ask. There is a pattern in your story that you still haven't seen. Every time you are about to receive something big, something happens that pulls you down. A fight at home, an expense that appears out of nowhere, an unexpected betrayal from someone you trusted, an illness that appears to scare you. Have you noticed this pattern? It is not bad luck. It is not a coincidence. It is resistance. There is a spiritual movement that tries to block you minutes before the blessing arrives. And I tell you, this week this movement will try again. Be alert. That is why I gave you this video today, so that you may be prepared. So that when the stone crosses your path on Wednesday, you remember my voice here now and say, I was warned. When the argument starts at home for no reason on Thursday, remember that I warned you. When the absurd bill appears on Friday, remember that I warned you. And especially when the bad thought wants to convince you on Saturday that nothing will work out, I want you to open this video again and listen to my words once more. Like this video now, subscribe to this channel and turn on the bell. It is not just about the algorithm. It is about you marking this moment. Each like is a yes you are giving to me. My child, I need to stop with you again. Because I feel a weight coming from your direction now. You are thinking, do I deserve it? You are thinking, is this time for real? You are remembering all the times you waited and nothing came. I hear you thinking this. I am not offended by your doubt. I am concerned about your fatigue, and that is exactly why I put here, in front of you, the digital book that will take you by the hand in the coming days. That is why I prepared the powerful digital book for you. It is called Como Saber Se Deus Vai Te Salvar no Juízo Final, and inside it is every practical step you need to sustain the answer when it arrives. Because receiving is easy, sustaining is an art. Many souls lost what I delivered because they did not know how to hold on to the blessing after its arrival. Do not be another one. The link is pinned at the top of the comments and in the description of this video. Hundreds of ordinary people with the same pain as you read this material and came back to tell me that their life shifted its axis in less than 15 days. Parents who reconciled with children, marriages that started breathing again, debts that vanished out of nowhere, cures that no doctor knew how to explain. I have already done it for others, and I will do it with you. But the time of availability is short. I cannot guarantee that this content will be on air next week. Get it now, not tomorrow, now. And when you get it, comment below the word Recibi. This comment is your sign of obedience, and obedience attracts delivery. Now I will tell you a story. There was a woman named Marlene in the interior of Minas Gerais who spent 13 years asking for the same thing. She wanted her son to come back home. Her son had left after a fight, turned his back on the family, disappeared for years. Marlene prayed every morning before breakfast, every night before sleeping. 13 years. Imagine the fatigue. Imagine the number of times she wanted to give up and said, Father, I cannot take asking for the same thing anymore. but she continued. And then on a normal Tuesday, without warning, without a grand sign, she answered the gate and it was him. Thin, tired, with teary eyes, with an old backpack on his back, saying only, "Mum, I have arrived. 13 years of waiting, 5 seconds of answer." I tell you this story not to scare you with waiting times. I tell you so you understand that the answer always arrives. Always. The difference is that for Marlene it was 13 years, and for you it will be before the end of this week. Why? Because the cycle is different. The maturity is different. The time is different. I do not say this to give you false hope. I say this because I have already seen the calendar from above. I have already seen the page of your life that has not yet been turned, and it is marked. There is still an important piece I haven't told you. It is about your children, about your parents, about the people who depend on you emotionally or financially. I know that much of your prayer is not for you. It is for them. You pray for your son who stopped studying and became apathetic in his room. You pray for your daughter who chose a relationship that is destroying her soul. You pray for your father who aged too quickly and has fragile health. You pray for your mother who lives medicated and sad. I know. I hear each of these prayers. They reach me with name, surname, and zip code. There is no way they can get lost. And I tell you one thing that will relieve you. The answer to your prayer comes married to the answer for your people. When I move you, I move your entire house. When I lift you, I lift everyone who is holding on to your spiritual rope. That is why the delay seems so heavy. Because the more people are on the rope, the firmer the knot has to be. And I have been tying this knot inside you all these months. You were not standing still. You were being tied tighter. Let's go now to the practical part. Because I did not come here only to move you. I came here to make you act. I will give you 4 instructions that you need to fulfill by Saturday so that the answer finds the door open. The first instruction, clean one thing today, just one. It could be an old drawer, it could be a piece of furniture you never used right. It could be a box of things stored for years. It could be a photo folder on your phone. Something physical on the material plane that you touch with your hand and get rid of what you no longer use. This opens flow. Where there is accumulation, there is a lock. Where there is space, there is an entrance. The second instruction, call one person. One specific person who came to your head while I was speaking. It could be someone you drifted apart from. It could be someone you feel needs to hear your voice. It could be a distant relative. Do not send a text message. Do not send audio. Dial the number and speak with your voice. The human voice carries energy that the keyboard does not carry. This phone call will unlock a channel that has been closed for a long time. The third instruction, pay off one small thing you owe. It could be money. It could be a promise you made to someone and never fulfilled. It could be an apology you owed for months. Quitting the small thing opens the path for the big one. I cannot deliver high value into the hand of someone who leaves low value hanging. The fourth instruction is the most important. Set aside a moment alone with yourself. It could be 15 minutes before sleeping today or tomorrow. Turn off the light, take the phone out of the room, and speak to me out loud, not in thought, out loud. Say the name of what you want, say why, say when, and ask in the name of the love I have for you. This exercise is the key that opens the last padlock. I ask you now from the depths of your chest, will you fulfill these 4 instructions? Think before answering. Do not promise me by reflex. Promise me by choice. Because the answer that will arrive this week is proportional to your level of commitment to what I have just delivered to you. You know why many people pray their whole lives and never receive what they ask for? I will tell you, and I will be honest. It is not because I don't listen. It is because they ask, but do not commit to what they will do with the answer. They ask for money, but don't think about what they will do with it. They ask for healing, but are not willing to change the habit that made them sick. They ask for love, but don't want to stop being controlling. They ask for a promotion, but don't want to take on the responsibility of the position. I send the answer, but the soul is not prepared to receive it. And the answer goes back, and then they call me a distant God. I am not distant. I am exact. I deliver what fits in the hand that is open. Your hand is open now. I know because you are still here. You did not close the video. You did not move on to the next one. You are feeling every word as if it had been written just for you. And it was. You are unique. Your story is unique, and what is coming is exclusive. I want to tell you one more thing that I have never told many people. There are 3 types of answers I deliver. The first is the immediate answer, which comes seconds after the request. It is usually a small thing that serves to remind you that I listen. The second is the progressive answer, which comes in layers, in pieces during months or years. It is the answer that has the goal of transforming you before delivering it to you. The third is the total answer. This is rare. This is when the entire path shifts its axis at once. Marriage, profession, city, circle of friends, purpose, health, everything changes in one season. I tell you, this week, you are entering the zone of the total answer, and that is why the fear is so great. The greater the answer that is arriving, the greater the resistance that tries to bring you down before. The resistance will come with familiar names. It will come with your mother's voice questioning your choices. It will come with the voice of that friend who always minimizes your dreams. It will come with the voice of your own head saying, "You are deluding yourself." You need to recognize these voices and differentiate them from mine. My voice never diminishes you. My voice never terrifies you. My voice never rushes you to flee, only to act. If the voice inside you is terrifying and paralyzes you, it is not me. If the voice is firm, calm, and moves you to act with peace, it is me. I will now give you a sign of confirmation, so that you know without a doubt that this message is for you. In the next 24 hours, you will hear a repeated word 3 times that has a direct connection to your prayer. It could be in an advertisement. It could be from the mouth of a child on the bus. It could be in the title of a song. When you hear this word for the 3rd time, stop, breathe, and say in a low voice, "I receive." This simple obedience unlocks the final gate. There is one thing I will ask of you now, more difficult than anything. I will ask you to forgive a specific person. You are already thinking of their face. I don't need to tell you the name. You know. You woke up today with a heavy soul because this person appeared in your thoughts and you relived the pain again. I ask you, with the authority of the one who loves you more than anyone in this world, let this person go. I am not asking you to resume contact. I am not asking you to pretend it didn't hurt. I'm asking you to remove the black paint that this person still has inside your chest. To forgive is not to absolve. To forgive is to set yourself free. While you hold on to that grudge, you are paying emotional rent to someone who has already left your life. You are letting this person occupy a room inside you without charging anything. Today, now, you will give them an eviction notice. Repeat with me, out loud, or in the deepest silence of your chest. I forgive you. I set myself free. I close this door. There. You just opened the path to the miracle. I know that many heavy things came to the surface while I was speaking. Memories, faces, situations you had buried. Do not run away. Sit with it. Let this flood pass through you. When it passes, you will feel a stillness that you haven't felt in years. This stillness is the cleared land ready for planting. Now I want to talk about money, because I know this is one of the most painful places in your life today. You are tired of doing math at the end of the month. You are tired of choosing between the bill and the medicine. You are tired of pretending on social media that everything is okay while inside your house despair eats your sleep. I know. And I tell you, money is not a taboo for me. Money is energy. And energy, I move. But there is a principle that few know. Money responds to faith combined with merit. It is not enough to ask. You need to move in the direction of what you ask for. I do not send money to a lazy hand. I send money to a hand that occupies itself while waiting. If you are sitting in the armchair complaining about life, money does not arrive. If you are moving, doing the little with excellence, taking care of what you have in your hands, money arrives. And this week specifically, something financial will unlock for you. It could be a job offer. It could be a value forgotten in an old account. It could be a client who returns after months. It could be a division that seemed stuck and resolves in a phone call. It could be an unexpected referral. Be prepared to recognize the disguise in which the blessing comes. And about your relationships, I also have a word. There is a person who will get closer to you again this week. It could be to reconcile. It could be to apologize. It could be just to turn a page that has been open for too long. When this person appears, remember my guidance. Listen before reacting. Do not respond with the old pain. Respond with your new version, the version that learned to wait, the version that no longer needs the approval of others to feel whole. This meeting is also an answer. Do not despise it. And about your health I have not forgotten either. That strange pain that appears from time to time, that fatigue without reason, that insomnia that became a routine. I see it. Much of what is manifesting in your body is an echo of what was kept in the soul. When you release what I asked you to release, your body will start to let go too. It is not magic, it is spiritual truth applied to the flesh. And this week you will feel the first sign of this, a night of different sleep. Lunch without that knot in your stomach, a morning without that urge not to get up. I will now approach the end of this video. But before, I need you to understand one last thing. Everything I told you here is not a generic prophecy. It is not recycled motivational words. Each word was placed in the right order so that your week unlocks. That is why I ask you with all my intensity. Do not treat this video as entertainment. Treat it as instruction. Go back to listen again if you need to. Write down the 4 instructions. Fulfill them. And observe what will happen. You are being chosen for a new phase. It is not arrogance to say this, it is the truth. Not everyone receives this message now. Not everyone feels their skin shiver while listening. Not everyone cries for no reason during a video on the internet. This is confirmation, this is a sign, this is me in person, speaking to you through what seems to be just a narration. You are of the caste of those who persist. You are of the family of those who do not give up even when everyone says to give up. You are the type of child who holds on to the prayer even when the prayer seems to make no sense anymore. That is why, before the end of this Sunday, the answer will knock on your gate. It may knock like wind. It may knock like a phone call. It may knock like an unexpected hug. It may knock like news you didn't expect. But it will knock. And when it knocks, remember me. Remember that I was here today on this screen warning you beforehand. Remember that I asked you to forgive, to clean, to call that person, to pay off the small thing. Remember that I told you that you were not standing still, you were being tied tighter. Remember that you are the bridge of your family. Remember that you were chosen to sustain what is coming. Leave a comment down here telling me what prayer you are waiting to see answered this week. You don't need to go into details that expose your intimacy, but write one word that represents what you hope for. Just one word. It could be reconciliation. It could be healing. It could be work. It could be sun. It could be peace. I will read it, and I guarantee you, each word written down here will be touched by me before the end of this Sunday. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message today. Not because the channel needs to grow, but because there is another person at this very moment waiting for this same warning, and you can be the instrument. Before I let you go, I remind you one last time. You did not come to this video by accident. Each word you heard was placed on your path to prepare you for the next 7 days, and your mission now is to protect this seed that I planted here inside your chest. That is why I prepared the powerful digital book for you. Como saber se Deus vai te salvar no juízo final is the complement to this message. It is the book that will give you the step-by-step to sustain the answer when it arrives, identify the signs that will appear in the coming days, and protect your family from the silent attacks that always come before every great turnaround. The link is in the description and pinned at the top of the comments. Do not leave it for later. Whoever ignores the call pays a price that no one wants to pay. Whoever obeys receives double. Comment now the word recibo as a seal of obedience. And come back here on Sunday to tell me what happened in your week. I will be waiting, and I love you, more than you are capable of imagining.